Another day, welcome back to the channel everybody. Today we're watching Young Sheldon. This is the 15th episode of the second season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you like to watch today's full episode, it's available for the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in and enjoy. Last episode was interesting. You know, Sheldon befriended the school bully. Somebody was actually picking on George and Sheldon seen him. He was interested in the interaction and why it was happening. He confronted him in the bathroom. Turns out they struck up a friendship, and you know, every time Sheldon got into a sticky situation, he kind of called upon the guy's name to scare everybody away. He's even doing it to Georgie at home. Now, interestingly, Sheldon done this to the wrong person who was like, do you know what? I want to fight him. Tell him to come meet me after school in the, you know, in the car park. We'll have a scrap. So obviously they've met up, and you know, Sheldon actually. For himself, he decided he was going to take part. He come with a little slingshot and he absolutely launched this rock, pinged it right off the centre of his head. Didn't really do anything. Sheldon ended up running away, and we ended up seeing at the end of the episode, we didn't get to see who actually won out the fight, but we did see at the end of the episode that Sheldon was left locked in the lockers in the football changing room, which is interesting. Also, we see Missy put loads of makeup on for school photo day, and then she was trying to call everybody's bluff. She was like, yeah, my mum said it was fine. If you don't believe me, call her. The video was like, okay, then we will. She's like, darn it. She tried to pull that a couple of times in the episode and it didn't work, but it was pretty funny, and you know, I did enjoy it. Thanks for checking out today's though. If you do enjoy it, please smash like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
It should come as no surprise that the very first grade I ever received was a super duper. Even as the difficulty of assignments grew, I maintained the same level of excellence.
Good job, Cooper.
Which is why this day hit me like a ton of bricks.
95, that's terrific.
No, if it was terrific, it would say 100 with the word terrific next to it. I believe you've made an error grading my test.
Let me see. Didn't calculate using Maxwell's equations.
Morning, Peg. I need to run Sunday's bulletin by Pastor Jeff. Is he in? Is he coming down with something?
Yep.
This is just a small
Oh
cook-off.
my, are you sick too?
Never better.
I have Sunday's bulletin for your approval, and I wanted to ask about ordering the poems for Palm Sunday. Should you be here right now? Well, you should at least go see a doctor.
I can't. The Walker couple is coming in for counseling.
If you rescheduled, I'm sure they'd understand.
Hey, what if you did it? Couple prayers, send them on their way.
Okay, if you really want me to.
You're in charge. All right, the bulletins, the palms, it's all you.
Well, all right. But only if you promise to go home and get some rest.
Sure.
He does look really sick, but to be honest, right, this could be a positive or a negative. You know, the positive thing is she can realise that she likes doing something. Do you know what I mean? And like she's found like a new hobby, so to speak, in counselling, helping couples. But then on the negative side is, well, actually, and another positive side as well is she could also see how disjointed and like, you know, ruined some marriages are and what people do, and it'll make her realise that she's got a good, loving family life. Do you know what I mean? But on the negative side, though, that could also work in the opposite way, where she could go in and she could see these couples all fighting about certain problems and realise that she has same issues in her family, but they've not addressed it yet. And it could be a bubbling thing like a kettle. Do you know what I mean? You're just waiting for it to overflow. And then maybe she could be in that position as well.
Where's your brother?
I don't know. Do you really want him here?
Convex polygons. Our polygons.
95. Good job.
Really. I'm here every day, and it's like you don't know me at all.
Anything you could tell me about the Walkers?
Not really. Just a couple of newlyweds trying to figure it out.
Sorry we're late. Someone couldn't decide on a hat.
Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Hi, I'm Mary Cooper. I'm going to be doing your session today. Been married for 15 years, and whatever you're going through, I'm sure I've been through it several times.
Francine, I dig your hat.
You all seem hunky-dory. I'm confused. What's the issue?
Having trouble in the, you know.
See, are they having trouble conceiving, or are they having trouble having the sex?
Sheldon, what are you doing here?
They wouldn't let me use the phone in the principal's office. Dr. Sturgis, this is Sheldon. You're wrong, and I can prove it.
All right, little man, bring it on. Go ahead, Sheldon. I'm all ears.
You're completely discrediting energy density
But you're still off.
by a factor of 3.54, which would seem insignificant, but when examined closely, you realize that it's the square root of 4 times pi.
Sheldon's trying to justify his shortcut.
Not a shortcut, a more elegant and efficient method to achieve the correct answer.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
How could you say that? Do you and your colleagues make each other run out of the room crying like that?
Probably.
Sometimes.
You're in charge. Those were his exact words. Can you believe it? You're in charge.
Well, that's great.
And thanks to me this year, United Methodist is going to get stuck with all the limp palms.
Well, I don't know what that means, but good for you.
I even did some marriage counseling for a couple of young newlyweds.
Yeah?
The husband is under a lot of stress at work, and it's diminishing his natural desires. He owns that flower shop across from the post office.
Flower shop. Ah.
Right, are we all, without saying it, until it's revealed, know what the issue is with their marriage? We all know it. We all know it. We all know it. If you're an adult, you know it. You've seen it instantly. 1 second of introducing to the couple, you know what's going on. However, in context with Sheldon, I've never understood that if on a test you get given a question and you get it completely right, how that's not full marks. Now, I just don't understand it. Like, he's got the correct answer, but because it wasn't worked out in the method that they wanted it to, he didn't get the full mark it achieved. That's what it sounded like. You know, Sheldon was basically saying, and I am nowhere near in their level, and I might be wrong on this, but he was basically saying whatever the calculation is that they're doing, you could be 0 to 0.4 or something to it. And his calculation is pi, is it like 0.314 or some shit like that? So, like, he was basically saying that you use the pi, you get it there, it's close enough, that's the figure, that's how I've got the answer. General knowledge of equations, so to speak, and he got the correct answer. But just because Dr. Sturgis wanted it displayed a different way, he's not got the full marks, which I don't get it. To me, if I ask you something, you get it right, and you show workings, that should be all of it.
So, Sheldon, you and Dr. Sturgis figure out your math emergency?
I'd rather not talk about it.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, but when someone with way less experience accuses me of not knowing what I'm talking about, my hackles are up.
What's a hackle? Well, if he's wrong, then teach him to be right instead of berating him like a big old jackass.
To be honest, he was about as fast as Sheldon there.
Hello? Mr. Guilford?
Where's my Mr. Pip?
Oh, right here. You're not in the mood for a conversation. Maybe there's something else I could do for you.
I haven't had a sponge bath in a while.
Does Pastor Jeff give you a sponge bath?
Sure does.
He definitely done.
No. I may not understand exactly what's going on with you and Dr. Sturgis, but you can't be rude to an adult. Plenty of stupid people in the world, but when they're older than you gotta show them respect, sir.
Thank you for your incredibly wise advice.
Exactly, like he's saying it to him.
Okay.
Did you just call Dad stupid without calling him stupid? Yes.
Mind if I make some room to sit?
You're staying?
Yes, I'm staying. I'm here to keep you company. Romans 12:13. Share with the Lord's people who
What
are...
are you doing? I don't want to hear that.
You don't want to hear the Bible?
Not from some woman.
Sorry, I called you jackass.
A big, old jackass. Upset that he's right.
Really? And you're just now saying something?
Energy density, rationalized and non-rationalized units. I can't believe I missed it.
The other night I had bingo for 5 moves, didn't even know it.
Thank you, Bonnie. You see that? I made a joke about it.
Ain't it? Not a woman's name.
And how are you doing?
Since when are you interested?
My father told me I should be kind to old people.
How old do you think I am?
Ooh, that's
My
a tough
father
one.
also told me if a woman ever asks you that, it's a trap. But I'll say 53.
How old? I'm in my 30s and she looks well older.
And what are you doing here? Why aren't you home in bed?
Because not everybody has a happy marriage, Barry, okay? How's everything going around here?
Really well. I had a lovely session with the Walkers. I think that they're going to be fruitful and multiplying soon. I had a visit with our shut-in.
Barry, that man sitting all alone in that mess of a house is a genuine war hero. He give you a hard time?
Yeah, and I kind of gave him one right back.
I gotta lay down. Hey, Peg, if my wife calls, tell her... You know what? Oh, she's not gonna call.
Mr. Guilford?
Oh, do you reckon he's dying or something?
Mr. Guilford!
Sorry. Coroner's on his way.
It's pretty sad that he's passed away, isn't it?
May I come in? I looked over your work again, and the math was correct. Sorry I doubted you.
Wow. It must be really hard for you to admit that.
I wanted to show you that being wrong is not the end of the world.
Dr. Sturgis was a wise man. When the day comes that I am wrong, I fully plan to admit it.
As some of you might know, we lost a member of our congregation. He was married to his wife Meredith for over 45 years. He was a lieutenant in the Army and, forgive him for this, a big fan of the Dallas Cowboys. If there's anyone who's able to help me clean out his house, please let me know.
Ooh, you know I love to tackle clutter.
We'll do it. Thank you.
It's a situation there which just shows that, like, you just don't know people, do you? You know what I mean? Like, she's gone in there with one thought process. Well, she was there to help him, but obviously going in, looking at it, it's all a mess, and he's got a grumpy personality, and she's thinking, you know, this is just a moody old man, and she don't know his past. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's that way because he's been through so much. Do you know what I mean? Especially being in the army, fighting for his country. He would have seen a lot of things. He was married for 40 odd years. He'd lost his wife. You know, I'm not saying he's happy to die, but he's coming to the terms with his situation. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't need to be told about God. He doesn't need to be helped. He just needs to be... basically, in those situations, you just need to be content with yourself. Do you know what I mean? Your situation. If you know you're dying, you can make peace with that yourself and just accept it and just wait for it. And you don't need somebody there, you know, trying to motivate you and push you. You know what I mean? You've got that yourself. And okay, his house was a mess, and it was, but like people like hardcore clean, nothing, no dust, no mess, no papers, everything spotless. And other people like a lot of things, a lot, you know what I mean, around. And to be honest, his condition don't look like he could get up and get about and dust and clean and hoover up his house anyway. Do you know what I mean? And everything, especially old people's houses as well, they have lots of different things just dotted around, like books and ornaments and pictures, and you know what I mean. Like he was happy with how it is, and that's the thing as well. Is like people take judgment on other people because it's not what they like. You know what I mean? Like, their house isn't as clean as mine, so like, how are they doing it? But yeah, but that's their life. Do you know what I mean? They enjoy it that way, and you know, it's sad that he ended up passing away. But this kid Mary, it looked like, and I mean, does she ever become leader of the church? A female, like people like Pastor Jeff? Would it be Pastor Mary if she took that role? I'm not sure. Do you know what I mean? I don't take part in the church. However, she took part in it today and realised that she's pretty good at it. She helped people and she enjoyed it, and maybe this is something that she can get into. However, trying to think of the Big Bang Theory and Mary in the future, I don't think she was ever that deep into it. Do you know what I mean? But in today's episode, she looked like she really enjoyed herself. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, we're seeing it, Sheldon getting 100%, 100%, 100%, 100% and all his tests, and he's got a 95. He's actually having a breakdown, you know what I mean? He's trying to disprove it, even though, you know, if you are right, you want to prove that you're right. Do you know what I mean? If you knew that you'd done something correct and somebody said you'd done it wrong, you'd be trying to prove them wrong. Now, it's interesting because it makes you wonder, like, teachers, they do mark your stuff and they mark everybody's, but they don't know everything, and sometimes they probably do grade your work wrong. I think in university as well, there's like a thing. So say you needed 70 to pass and you get like a 68, you can actually challenge it and say, look, I want it rechecked again to make sure that I'm actually okay. Do you know what I mean? To see if you can get a different grade. So that's interesting. But obviously he's gone back and forth with Dr. Sturgis. It turned out that Sheldon was correct. He used his probability thing and pi and all that stuff, and you know, he come to him and he was like, look, you know, even though you was correct, it still was an important life lesson. Not every time in life, in every situation, you're always going to be right, and you got to learn with that. You know, like disappointment or the fact that, you know, other people can be right in certain situations, and it's a good learning curve for him. Another interesting thing is as well is George, the dad, he makes me laugh. You know, he always, everything's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, anything that gets resolved really quick or something simple, he just gets along with it, he goes with it. It's funny, man. Honestly, I really do enjoy him. But That wraps up today's episode. Thanks for checking out. If you did enjoy it, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.